technical difficulties. This is Carlos Phoenix. We are live. Oh my goodness, this is insane. I didn't think it would work. And as you can tell, we are literally on a rooftop in Manhattan. And I'm not even going to bother pointing out what buildings are what because, yeah, it's insane. But I do have a guest today. And my guest is with me. Her name is Lea. Is it Lea or Lea? Lee. I've been pronouncing it wrong the whole time. Insane. So, Lea Anderson, if you have caught me or us 2 days ago, she performed live, and I tried my best to give a reasonable broadcast of her performance, and I tried my best. I was basically hand holding cameras and doing all sorts of acrobatics, but anyway, I'm going to introduce her. And what I'm going to have you do is introduce not only yourself, but also we'll get into all that. So please introduce yourself, Lee.
Hi, I am Lea Anderson. I'm happy to be here. Hi guys. This is what I'm looking at, right?
Yeah, that's the one. And Lee, so Lee is a music artist. She's completely independent. She has an incredible voice, and if you saw the the show, and I will show some music videos in a moment. But we want to introduce her. I wanted to get a little bit into your background and into kind of the type of things that got you into what you do, because I think you have for the time of today, and as young as you are, you have an incredible amount of soul and a lot of old youth. I mean, it's your style is very unique in my opinion. And granted, I'm old, so that's where I'm identifying that from. But can you give us a little bit of first your background, like first where you're from, and then you can tell us a little bit about where you started with your music.
Okay, I was born in Washington, District of Columbia, and then I grew up in South Carolina in a small town outside of Charleston. So that's where I did learn the most, I guess. That's where I did. Well, actually, no. I started singing even in DC with, like, just hanging out with my family and singing for them. But I decided to do it professionally right after college. I noticed that. Well, first of all, I graduated right when the Bush administration came into play. And so a lot of people, it was very hard for like a lot of people my age to find jobs. And although I did have a job doing museum work, it wasn't a lot. And then I started getting all these offers to do musical theater in different cities. So I took advantage of that. And through that, I just solidified my music abilities. And I moved to New York to pursue music as a profession, as a solo artist.
Okay. Now, in respect to family, and you were doing this when you were young, so what kind of support did you get from your family?
Oh, I have a lot of support from my family, overwhelmingly so. And I'm very blessed in that matter because I know a lot of people don't, but everyone recognized my talents when I was young. My grandmother had me singing in front of my family. My babysitter had me singing. Every time I would come over to their house, they would be like, okay, you can't leave this house before singing. And if that's your babysitter, you're there like every day. So no, I have a huge support system at home with my family and people I grew up with. No, they're dope. I love my Carolyn.
Okay. Now, the style of music that you now is there someone in particular that you are like that you're identifying with when you do this style of music? What do you call that style?
Oh, definitely R&B, real R&B, rhythm and blues. It's what I've been through, and I sing about it. It's drum heavy, R&B.
Now there are a couple of songs in your new album. One in particular. Now I don't know if that's in your album. You did it fairly recently. And we talked a little bit about this. We don't want to get too into the politics of anything, but if you want to, you're at total liberty to do so. can you tell us a little bit about the song, name the song, and tell us a little bit about it, and then if you want, we'll play it right now.
Yes, play it. But the song is called "Tell Me Yes," and no, it's not on my album. I've always been politically cautious, not so much through music, but I was a studio art major at the College of Charleston, and that's where, although I changed my major, but that's how I got into school, through painting. And so a lot of my pieces are political, and I never put it in music until just now. But no, I had it produced, I had it composed by my friend Sho Marie, and then I called D Moet up, and we recorded it in one day. I did the video the next day. It was literally a 3-day process, just because I was just really saddened with what was going on in the community of.
Any audio issues?
I hope you can hear me. Yeah? Okay. I was just really upset and sensitive about what's going on in our day as far as racial structure. It's sad. And my family is from the South. My parents are black. Their parents are black. My grandfather specifically is from Mississippi. I've heard so many different stories of what's been going on in 1930, what happened to his parents, what happened to his parents' parents. And it's just, I got to the point where I feel like it's enough, and enough is enough. Like, so many people fought for my generation to not go through this, so why is my generation still going through this? Why are we still worrying about our black men? We shouldn't have to worry about that. And so I was really sad, I was really depressed. And so I tried to put it through song. I did my best ability to put it through song. That's what Tell Me Yes is about.
Okay, now I'm going to play the video now. And I know when we talked on your performance, you felt a little bit emotional about even performing it then. So let's take a look, and you guys can see if you enjoy it. So let's take a look.
Tell me, when you ever wish, do you wish for love? And when you have a dream, is it peaceful? When you get down on your knees to pray, are you crying out for God? And do you find it hard to be hopeful? Tell me, why is it that we live in constant war? Every time we turn around, someone's being murdered. So if anyone ever asks you if we should change the world, you should say yes. You should tell them yes. So tell me yes. We can change. Yes. We can change. Yes. We can change the world. Yes. We can change. Yes. We can change. Yes. We can change the world. When I wake up in the morning to the rising sun, I'm reminded how we built this land for free. From my darkest ancestor to my youngest child, I pray equality will come our way. Tell me, why is it that we walk a silent line? Because no one doesn't want to see similarities. So if anyone ever asks you to open up your heart, you should say yes. You should tell them yes. Oh, tell them yes. We can change. Yes. We can change. Yes. We can change the world. Yes. We can change. Yes. We can change. Yes. We can change the world. Let me hear you say yes, 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 yes. Let me hear you say yes, 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 yes.
We are back, I particularly like that song a lot. Because when I first heard it, first of all, I downloaded it in order to put it on our show, and you hadn't even told me about it. I think I had received an email about it. I'm like, okay, I love this song. Yeah. So anyway, so one of the things I wanted to ask and get into, this album. Oh, George, do me one big favor. Plug that into the iPhone. It sounds like we have not been getting her audio correct. I am so sorry, guys. We've not been. There we go. Speaking to the microphone. Let me.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Jeez. I am so sorry, guys. My production value has just gone down by so much right now, but it just increased. So I'm hoping that you can hear her much better now. And if you have not been commenting, shame on you, because we have eyes on the comments. All right. So you've been working on this album for some time now.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about how long this process has been?
Well, as a songwriter, I never really was writing to create an album. I was just writing to write, if that makes any sense. And so the oldest song on the EP is called Not That Type of Guy, and I wrote that. When was I in Atlanta? I wrote it roughly around 2008.
Because
yeah.
I got emails from you when I was in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, new artist. And at the time, I was doing quite a bit of episodes, and I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I gotta see if I can fit into the schedule because.
You were very overwhelmed.
was.
That was like 2013.
Yeah, and then now we're both in New York, and it just kind of all lines up, so it's awesome. It's perfect.
That's good, yeah.
And I can only say that the song from the songs that I've heard, it's just been a progression. It's great.
Thank you.
So you've had how many songs have you produced so far?
Produced and mastered. There are 6 on the album, but total so far there's not that many. I'll say 9.
Okay.
9 masters so far.
And they're available in iTunes.
No, not all of them. No.
How many are available on iTunes?
Because I have hundreds of songs. They're just not all developed. Yeah, I've been writing a long time. But no, but yeah, I have Tell Me Yes, and then I have my EP with 6 songs. So what's available now are just those 7. And but I will be releasing some more pretty soon. Okay. Yeah.
Now, explain to me the process from when you write the song.
Right.
Trying to find someone to produce the song.
Mm-hmm. That's the hardest part. That's why it took me so long, because I've worked with a lot of producers, and I don't want to say that the time was wasted because I learned a lot from each of them. I haven't really had a lot of vocal training professionally. I am classically trained in opera. That helped me with musical theater, but a lot of the other training that I received was just being in the booth with different producers and telling me what they hear and basically trying to mold me. So my sound is pretty much developed through experience.
And where'd you get that training
from? Which one?
The classical training.
The classical training, I studied when I was still in undergrad with Maida. She's like the best vocal coach in Charleston.
Awesome.
So Maida Limpkin. So I trained with her a little bit, and then I did some more training, roughly with, oh my God, what's Corey's last name? Corey from Wisconsin. I love you, Corey. Sorry, I can't remember your last name, but you're amazing. But and he trained me a little bit too when I was doing shows there. I did the Mikado, and so that pretty much locked it in. But and so I don't think that time was wasted, but you really have to, when you put together a project and a song, you really have to, it's kind of like having a kid, if that makes any sense. You want that person to be the right person for you. And so I didn't really meet the right producer for me until I moved to New York. And he's just amazing. He knows exactly, we have the same mindset. We think the same way. He knows exactly what I want to sound like. I sound like exactly what he wants to sound like. So it's kind of like a nice little merriment. His name is D Moet. And actually, I prayed for him when I was 11. Because he did the there's this R&B singer. She's Cuban. Her name's Veronica, and she came out with this CD, and you could call in and listen to her CD. And so I used to call in and listen to the CD, and turns out D Moet was the person that produced her album. And so, yeah, I got what I.
Now, in New York, it's a little bit of a different dynamic than it would be in Atlanta. Can you tell me, are there any major differences that you felt?
I grew up in South Carolina. But when you say dynamic, you mean like racially, economic?
No, more like finding them and just the hunt for the production.
Yeah, well, honestly, in Atlanta, I wasn't really looking for producers. I was still driving back home to Charleston and recording with my sister and my sister's friend Josh. So I was just doing rough demos. I wasn't doing anything, anything like strong, except for Not That Type of Guy. It always stood out to me, and everyone kept telling me, keep developing it, keep pushing it. So that's the one song that just stayed with me for years, and it's my favorite song. I'm glad I stuck with it.
And that's the one that's on the new current music video.
Oh, yeah, it's the first single off my album. It's the first single I ever had. So, yeah.
All right. Now, you just recently released this new music video, and in that video, you have lots of balloons and very pretty girls and a couple of friends and friends. So tell me a little bit about the video and what kind of story you're trying to tell in the process of that video.
At the end of the day, we always want the best for ourselves. Like when we're shopping for a car, we pick the best car. When we're shopping for a college to attend, we pick the best college to attend. And what I want people to get from that is still like use that in love too. Just get that one really, really good person and stick with it. Because I think my generation, we really don't really fight through it. We're like, oh, someone's calling me. Oh, well, they hung up. Anyway, we don't really stick with one person as long as we're like, oh, I could just find somebody else. But it's not true. I'm finding that a lot of people my age, we really do want that one good man. We want that one good man. And it's not really represented in media. It makes us believe that we are really looking for shallow holes, if that makes any sense. But we are looking for something deeper. And so I wanted to represent that demographic and let everyone know that no, we really do want that one really, really good person.
Now, was that also a political type of thing, or was it just more of was there a story behind it? In other words, is it an experience that you had to kind of go through, or a friend went through, that type of thing?
Honestly, no. I was just talking to my girls. I was just talking to them, and we were all single, and we're like, okay, I just want this, I want that, and then a man. But at the end of the day, he just has to be good. Just be good. That's it. Be good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, now that you've gone through this process, and I know your family was supportive, probably in the beginning of the process. So, how are they backing you up now? Like, what's mom and dad saying now?
My mom is very proud of me, and my dad is even more proud of me. No, they're just saying the same thing, like just keep pushing, and it's never changed. Like our relationship is just not changing.
Well,
I'm still their little girl.
The reason I ask is a lot of artists, over time, arts at all types, music and I was an illustrator, and over time, if there's not like this instant success, there's a certain like loss of confidence, not only on the artist sometimes, but also on the family parents, and friends. And like, come on, it's time to kind of move on. And so that's where that question came from. But I mean,
it's
just
true,
based on
though.
the talent that you have, and
well, some people really do need to move on.
Agreed. Agreed. Now, looking at how the music industry is now,
right,
and the changes that it's gone through, and now that you're smack in the middle of these changes, how do you feel you are adjusting? Because you've kind of been going through it all these years, and you've seen the changes. How
Yeah.
how you been adjusting? How are you catering yourself to those changes?
I don't think it's hard for me to change it because you don't really make money off of downloads anymore. You make money off of live performances, and I'm a live performer. I've been performing live. The first time I set foot on the stage, I was, what, 7? So I feel like I'm still in the game. I'm not struggling. Like, I never had stage fright. I've never been afraid to sing in front of people. So I feel like I never really had to change myself. I never really had to alter myself because that's where the money is now, live performances, not so much downloads.
Now, one thing I found fascinating when I saw you performing live and you did your first song, and you ended on the floor. She was on the floor, and I'm just like, okay, I like her a lot. Anyway, I thought that was cool, just because
I do roll around.
There's people who just like
sorry.
they just stay safe and they're in their little spot and they hold the microphone and they end the song and it's cool. But
Right.
you dance, and you were dancing even before you even started performing, and
Yeah.
you're really animated. I love that about your personality. You're
Thank you.
You're just rich inside. It's great.
Thank you.
Making money. Now, there's going to be artists that are probably going to watch the show either today or later on
Yeah.
replays or later on my website.
Yeah.
And on some of the interviews I get into, we talk about what's your version of making money, what's your formula, whether it's selling songs, whether it's performing live, whether it's touring, whether it's, selling T-shirts. So what do you find your formula to be?
That's the thing. Like, you really have to do everything. That's why I don't feel like I'm not really equipped to rely on a label anymore, since they're not really signing people over the age of, I'll say, 26 right now. But and so I don't really have to rely on a label, if that makes any sense. You have to do a combination of everything. You do have to have the T-shirts. You have to do the live performance. You have to make sure that your songs are always available to everybody. And you have to be outside hitting the pavement. Like, you have to be on the corner selling your CDs. I'm sorry, but you do. You have to be out the trunk of your car. You need to be singing on the train. Like, that's the formula. You have to do a combination of everything. It can't just be, oh, somebody's going to find me. Nobody's going to find you in 2016. You have to help other people find you, if that makes any sense. Does it? Or
No, you're right. This is the time when, look what we're doing. We're live streaming. We're using the new media tools to promote, to present talents, and that's just kind of what you have to do. You have to just take advantage of any new tool and take advantage of what I call social media 2.0 and reach the audience that can be your fan.
yeah, I guess so.
So let's get into the new music video. Can you let people know what the name of that video is, and tell us a little bit about? I mean, I know you told us about the how you made the video, but the story behind it.
Yeah.
Well,
the name of the song is
you told us the
called.
story behind it. Just tell us
Yes.
the name of this video, and we're gonna. It's just me. I'm playing with my technology here, and I'm just gonna present the video. So introduce the video, and let's let everybody.
Okay, I hope you enjoy it. The song is called One Good Man, and it's my next single off my EP, pronounced Lee.
There is one sky, there is one moon, there is one earth that we live happily. We have one soul, one heart, one body used to show love. My desire to fall wants to die. Someone give me one good man to love. All I need is, all I need is one good man to kiss me good. All I need, one good man. All I need, give me one good man, kiss me good now. One is all that I need to get by. When I find him, I will
Hey guys, so it is getting dark, so that is a sign for me to say goodbye. But I wanted Lee to tell us how we can find her on all forms of social media. So, of course, my technology is limiting me, so allow me to put the camera back on her. Come on, Lee. So let's tell the audience how they can find you.
Sure. You can find me on Instagram at I am Lea Anderson. You can find me on SoundCloud. I am Lea Anderson. You can find me on YouTube, Music by Lyric Lea, or log on to my website where you can find all of that on www.imleaanderson.com.
And I am Carlos Phoenix in the middle of Manhattan. Well, actually, we're in Harlem. So on the rooftop, overseeing Manhattan. That's the Empire State Building back there. And it's a wonderful, cool night. I was afraid it was going to be super hot and sunny. It's very cool. We're not sweating to death. Therefore, I did not need makeup. And I so much appreciate you being here on the Lounge Network and on Carlos Phoenix Live. I want to cover you more, and especially now that I'm in the city, if you're going to be performing again, I would love to
Absolutely.
cover you again. And thank you all who are watching and who will be watching. You can find me on Twitter at RealTLN and Carlos Phoenix on Facebook. And there's also the Lounge Magazine on Facebook as well, where you can see coverage of everybody that I've ever interviewed and what they're doing now today. So that's it. Thank you very much, guys. We have been live for about, I think, 28 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. This is my first real attempt after I've been practicing playing with these toys of doing an interview, and I hope it worked. I hope it's not too sloppy, and much love. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.